Toso. I am going to guide you through a meditation, but before we sit in meditation, we will do a little warm-up together. So for that, I have a belt and I have a blanket and a block. And I'll use the block and the blanket to sit on. And to warm up my hamstrings, I'm going to get onto my back. This is Uttanasana. And I'll interlace my hands below the knees across the shins. And I'll just gently start compressing and feel this in my low back, in my sacrum. And then when I feel ready, I will start rocking side to side. And as I do this, I'm stretching my low back, my hip joints. And I'm going to rock over to the right side and let my upper back come back onto the mat. I'm letting my left hand rest on the top leg so I stay in this twisted position. And then I might even look toward the right if that's okay in my neck. If that doesn't feel good on the neck, I'll just look straight out. And now the real magic begins when we breathe into it. So with eyes closed, take deep inhales and exhales. Sensing and feeling the breath in the nose, in the chest, in the belly. And gradually start slowing down the breath. And that usually happens on its own, right as you start to breathe and bring attention to the breath. We tend to slow it down, deepen it. Now draw the knees back into center and compress a little bit again. And this is where you use your intuition. So your body will tell you, do you need to really compress, draw the knees in tight, or is a looser hold feel better? It could also be that you can reach your hamstrings more easily than your shin bones, and then that's fine too. We'll rock side to side again, just like we did before. And then we'll move to the other side, twisting to the other side. You can bring your right hand to your top leg, and then rest the left shoulder toward the floor, extend the left arm out, and then close the eyes so you can really focus on the breath. So the meditation really starts as soon as you get on your mat. Even though you're moving through slow stretches, asanas, you can start to become mindful of what you're doing. Dispersing the energy that's in the head and the mental realm into the whole body. And then come back to center. And this time elongate the right leg and just hold the left knee, interlacing your hands below the left knee. And then draw the left knee toward the left side of the chest, the left armpit. And compress just the right amount. So just experiment a little bit. You could also create little circles here, really feeling what's going on with your hip joints. And then find a degree of compression that feels good in your body and just hold that for a moment. The right leg is in Shavasana. It's not engaged here. And then you have an option. If you can reach your big toe, you can use your Padangusthasana fingers here, grabbing the big toe, and get a nice stretch through the back of the leg. The more you flex this foot, the deeper the stretch is in the calf. If you let up a little bit, you'll feel it more in the hamstring. Now if you can't reach your big toe, and most people can't, then grab a strap, and this could be, the belt from a bathrobe or something. It doesn't have to be a yoga belt. Wrap it around. And then on the inhale, extend the heel up toward the ceiling. And on the exhale, draw your leg toward you. And this will depend on your flexibility level, right? So you just get a stretch in your body. It could be that you're here or here. Doesn't really matter as long as you have a sense that you're lengthening through the belly of the hamstring muscle back here. So gradually deepen. Inhale, extending heel. Exhale, drawing the toe a little closer to a point above your head. Soften, inhale, exhale, deepen. And then holding that stretch for a moment. And then soften the left knee. Put the strap aside for a moment. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Draw the right leg in. Interlace your hands either below the right knee, hamstrings if that's easier. And then draw the knee at an angle, a little bit toward the right. Right armpit, right side of the chest. And move around a little bit. Compressing the right side of the digestive tract. And then find just the right amount of compression but without putting too much tension in the shoulders. So try to relax the body as much as you can, even as you're applying this compression. Take a couple of breaths here. And then you move on to this side. So again, either your big toe lock or your strap. And grabbing the strap as close to your foot as you can get. On the inhale, extend the right heel toward the ceiling. On the exhale, pull the leg toward you. You can soften a little bit on the inhale, straighten out, pull the leg a little bit more on the exhale, and let it be a gradual deepening. And if you close your eyes, you're more prone to being mindful of what you're doing. So you really sense and feel, am I going too far? This is just right. And then finding a stretch that's a deep stretch but not painful, where you could just hold it there and breathe into that. And bend the right knee and put your strap aside. And then reach between your legs. And now full Ananda Balasana, happy baby, would be here. That can be a little much on your hips, especially in the morning. So you could also just grab your ankles or your shin bones, as long as you just let your knees flop open. So you're preparing your legs to sit in Sukhasana, a meditation posture, cross-legged position. So you're just stretching out your inner thighs, hip joints. So be here for a moment in a version that works for you, right? So you find where it's easy to hold on. And then draw the knees together and roll over to your right side. We roll to the right side for the most part in yoga because it's calming. We take some weight off the heart. And in the morning especially, I like to take my time here. This is often a pose that we just skip through quickly to get up. But it can be quite lovely, a little check-in with yourself to lay here in fetal pose for a moment. And then when you're ready, push into the right hand and come up. And now I'll set up my meditation seat. A universal height that works for a lot of people is to put a block down, a 4x6 yoga block, and then a blanket on top for a little cushion. Yeah? If you like to be higher up, you could use 2 blocks, or you could use no blocks, just a blanket. And then bring your foot one in front of the other. And you might check and see, where am I more comfortable? Maybe if you have a habit of always putting one foot in front, you make yourself put the other foot in front. And bring your hands to your pelvis and notice if you're tipping it a little back or a little forward, and see if you can find a neutral place where the belly is not engaged, the low back is soft, and there's just a sense of anchoring down through the center of the sit bones. And then you can extend your arms overhead, interlace your hands and press the palms up toward the ceiling. And now lengthen out both side bodies simultaneously. So the intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs are being lengthened. The whole space for the lungs is getting opened up a little bit, right? So through tension, the torso can get a little contracted, so the lungs have less space. We open that up. Now stay this tall, so you don't collapse. You can just bring your hands down and then press the palms away from you. Palms are sort of turned inside out. You're stretching even through the webbing of the fingers. And then tilt the pelvis and stretch out the back side of the body. Chin can drop toward the chest, stretching the space between the shoulder blades. Take a breath or two here. And then come up, interlace your hands behind you, press the palms together, straighten out the arms, roll the shoulders back and down. The front side of the body is opening, the space between the ears and the shoulders opening. And then just see again, can I find a neutral middle where the chest is open in the front, but also in the back. So we're not opening the chest at expense of closing the back side. And extend the arms out, and then turn the palms out, but let it come from the shoulders. So the shoulders rotate externally, and then draw the arms back and down, and release the hands to the mat, to the thighs. And then with eyes closed, check in and see, do you want your palms facing down, or do you want your palms facing up? And without questioning whether one thing is more right than the other, just leave your palms facing in the direction that feels calming to you. And now you're ready for your meditation. So I'm going to introduce a meditation method that uses a mantra. And there's many different ways to meditate. You can meditate just focusing on the breath, complete silence, outwardly chanting a mantra, reciting a mantra, inwardly mumbling a mantra. There's so many ways to do this. I have found at times in my life that speaking a mantra out loud, singing it, chanting it, can really calm me down. It sort of takes over everything when it's a vibration in the body from the singing. It's the sound of the mantra, it's the melody of the mantra. There's really very little room left to worry when your whole being is participating in the mantra. So for me, that's like, it's good medicine, especially for worry, anxiety. Anytime you find that your mind is spinning out of control and you have a hard time not getting into it with someone in your thoughts, or you're worrying about something that you can't do anything about anyway, or just feeling like you're agitated and slightly off or anxious, which is, very prevalent. I have so many students that complain about that, so I almost think it's the human condition in our day and age. So we can reach for these ancient tools of mantras to completely calm us down, focus us back into the present moment. It's hard to wander anywhere when you're fully engaged in saying your mantra. So you can choose any mantra that appeals to you. I have worked with several different mantras in my life, and I'm going to give you a sample of each of these mantras, how I might use them, and you might find another mantra that works for you that you could put in place of the mantras I introduce you to. So our bodies are nice and warm now to sit in meditation for a little bit. So we'll do a mantra meditation. Mantras have been used in many different traditions for thousands of years, and they're medicinal. They have a way of shutting down the mind. The mind chatter kind of has to subside when the mind gets focused on a mantra. And it's like this vibration that flows through you. So I think of mantras as a form of medicine. And I pick my mantras very intuitively. They each mean something, but to me it's more the vibration that I kind of check in with. So as I've gone through different phases of my life, a specific mantra has suddenly seemed like that just fit. So I would say the mantra that I want to introduce today is Om Namah Shivaya, and I'm going to sing it. It can be said in many different ways, many different tunes. I will show you my favorite tune, and you can start singing along, and you'll know pretty quickly if that feels good, if that feels like a vibration that is wholesome and healing for you. Yeah. So here's how it goes. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om Mano. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om. And after creating this vibration in your body and your being, sit quietly in this vibration, just focusing on your breath, and continue to let the mantra roll within. And then let go of the mantra and just sit still, simply in the vibration of the mantra, the silent mantra, the chanted mantra, and the space of being behind it all. And concluding your little meditation session, hands at heart, bowing the head to the heart, bowing the intellect to the warmth of the heart, that our thoughts may always be warmed over by the compassionate heart. And at this point, you could set an intention for your day. You could send this good vibration of love and kindness toward a situation, person, an event in your life that you want to infuse. You might vision the energy of the meditation as the light that you send in the direction that you wish, or simply letting it radiate from you. And we'll end with thumbs at third eye center, reminding ourselves of the light within, not just in ourselves, but in every human being. We greet the highest light and we say, Namaste. So that's just a little introduction to a pretty brief meditation, a warm-up that allows your body to sit comfortably and yet not sitting so long that sitting becomes a problem, and also not sitting so long that it becomes a problem to find the time. that really in 15-20 minutes you can ground yourself in your body, you can experience the benefits of the vibration of a mantra and the nice stillness that comes in the aftermath of chanting, and then sharing it all. So this is a very healthy, easy to do practice, and you can use this video for as long as you need it, and at some point you're just going to do your own thing. You won't need the guidance, but for now it's nice to have a little bit of a step-by-step. So good luck with your meditation.